Hi, my name is Calla Soderholm, and
I am an individual. So are you.
there is a quote in a book called Immortality by Milan Kundera, which my work is generally inspired by. If you put a picture of two different faces side by side, your eye is struck by everything that is different from the other. But if you have 223 faces side by side, you suddenly realize that it is all just one face and many different variations, and that no such thing as an individual ever existed. I completely agree and disagree. I disagree that individualism never existed, although I agree that in numbers, every face can blend together, creating one being. This I would identify as a community. My work is focused on this theory, that everyone has one thing in common which makes us a community, and that one thing is that we are different. The need to be unique and set ourselves apart is something many people have grown admirable of. It has, for some of us, become heavily influenced by social media, but what many don't realize is that it exists already. It exists within us, and social media is simply its mirror. There are 6 components which make up my work. 1.
The success of humankind. The internalized individual. Impacts of not knowing yourself. My reality, your experience, being a part of something bigger, using you to find me.
First and most significantly, the success of humankind. Our success relies on individualism and difference. Without the diversity of opinion, there could never be any progress. Humanity would become a loop of the same idea being reiterated endlessly. There could be no inspiration or progress, as there could be nothing to learn which you do not already know. If each person lives through a different perspective, I think it's fair to say that each person lives their own individual reality. This allows for new knowledge to move through ourselves and each other, expanding our minds and allowing for the possibility of communal success. These separate perspectives divide us, but in the best way possible. It's not only individualism which does this, it's the second aspect of the internalized individual, which is our subconscious perspectives. It is the way I see you and you see me that divide us. I see me one way, you see me another, dividing our realities and working vice versa. I suppose this division is what creates the beauty in humanity, but it also imposes disharmony, as our biases create a fear due to difference. But if the difference is what we find so beautiful, as it divides us all uniquely, why is it so harmful to be different from another? It's not that one is lesser than or greater than. We are all in an extraordinary whirlpool of variety, and that supplies us our individuality. Patterns of humankind challenging individualism as difference can be easily categorized. It is wrong to assume that the way in which someone dresses or looks automatically associates them with another individual. 2 people who look the same can completely differ in internal characteristics, constructing their individuality. These people will see each other and the world differently, letting them live contrasting yet equally beautiful realities. The individual is hard to comprehend, as the notion that someone has lived a different life than you adds another layer to the life you already live. A lot of the time it can be easier to think about the person next to you rather than yourself. Yes, this is a defense mechanism, but it's also how I've decided to make art. I make it about everyone else, which ultimately makes it about me. The third aspect I consider in my work is the impact of not knowing yourself. I don't know myself. No one knows themselves. It's impossible to find a state of complete understanding when seeking knowledge is itself a continuous series of steps within growing as a human, which one never stops doing. One has to trust themselves to understand themselves without knowing how it is they understand. This process becomes difficult, as we are constantly contradicting our understanding of ourselves by blindly assuming we think a certain way based on external forces, allowing us to identify our internal selves. I am a partial reflection of my surroundings. By painting the community which I am surrounded by, I am creating a body of work which interprets my reality for you to experience. Everyone wants to feel included, including myself. And so to create work about myself, I am representing my primary environment. I am finding my individuality throughout this process. Painting becomes a goal which I can put my whole heart into, allowing me to focus completely on the task at hand. To paint 223 portraits of those within my community allows me to analyze all that I am without the direct pressure of self-analysis. I am including the faces of these many individuals in my work, making every person who is included have a different perception of themselves. This leads to the fourth aspect of my work, being a part of something bigger. People I paint will see their portrait and feel as though they are a part of something bigger than themselves. But without them, this bigger thing would not exist. Without them, the piece would be ruined because all the community which I have constructed would no longer be whole, which would affect the reality of my surroundings as well as all the other viewers, shifting the balance of value in each portrait. The fifth aspect is my reality, your experience. Every person will have a different relationship with seeing themselves immersed within my individuality. I painted them and am now providing the opportunity for them to view themselves outside of their control. They now have the freedom to interpret my reality through their own. And it's amazing to think about the numerous realities which I'm inviting into mine. Identifying what makes us us and not each other is the most powerful thing I can fathom. It takes immense strength to truly know I am not solely a reflection of my surroundings, but that I am a separate piece of reality which holds equal importance. An individual does not have to be a singular person. An individual can be a nation, but in comparison to one citizen in that nation, the worth of that individual cannot be measured on a scale of importance. If our surroundings can outweigh the significance of one being, you could question if there's any importance in singular individualism. The importance is not allowing other things to outweigh you. Every single thing on this planet relies on something else to function, and the vulnerability humans offer to others allows us to function as a whole. That is the most important thing, or else there would be nothing. Your life is the only real life to you, so comprehending your value is the most part. Understanding your importance is what I want everyone in this piece, everyone who sees this piece, everyone who hears me speak about this piece to achieve. Hopefully it's something I can achieve myself. And that is the sixth aspect, using you to find me. This process of building my existence displays how me and you function along with everyone else in the world. Without the support between me and you, we would miss out on endless quantities of knowledge, which is exactly why I make art, to define my individuality by creating an abundance of equally valued human beings. Thank you.